Hi, we're group six, and we're going to talk about an unquestionable example of success, which is Google. Okay. Google is a company specialized in the products and services directly related to internet, software, and electronic devices. However, they are more commonly known for its famous Google search engine, um, but there are many other services and products such as Gmail, Google Earth, Google Maps, Google Ads, YouTube and many others, which are also achieving great success in in this last year. But as you already know everything that I'm just saying, now we're going to focus on the main factors that have helped Google become one of the top successful companies, which three main factors are his innovation model, his business plan, and his human resources model.
Now talking about innovation, which is one of the main factors Google has, we have speed, obviously, which is a key factor for Google. What the company does is that they create something and then launch to the market, waiting for the users to give them feedback so that they know if it's going to be a good product or not. Then, thanks to the diversification, which is a key point for Google, they are constantly innovating its products, such as Google Maps, Google Academy, or YouTube, and they are trying to make user experience constantly better. And then we obviously have to mention artificial intelligence, what is more important nowadays, and it's making our lives easier, from breaking language barriers through Google Translator, or with typing emails. And examples of innovations, I don't know if you knew that when you look for something in Google Maps, you actually can see how it was centuries ago. Here, for example, we have Sol, and that is how it is nowadays and before. Also, Google Earth not only shows you the Earth view, but also what is under the sea right now. And also, it is constantly creating competitions, such as programmatic ones, or this latest one, which is Share Your Kindness, making users being constantly innovating. And here we have our
Sure, give me 1 second. Mm-hmm. Sure, what time are you looking for around?
At 12 p.m.
We do not have a 12 p.m. available. The closest we have to that is a 1:15.
Do you have anything between 10?
Well, we get it. It's just that a machine it's an example of artificial intelligence.
So now I'm going to talk about the model of human resources of Google. We all know that Google has always stood out for its company policy and for the working formula of their offices. But what actions do Google take in order to make their workers don't want to leave and to have so talented professionals? It all starts from the hiring processes. After many interviews, only a small percentage of that people end up being hired. But the main factor here is that Google is not looking just for people with experience, so they are looking for people with adaptability. And this is because we now live in a digital world, and Google is just looking for people who can manage those changes that are constantly coming. Another successful factor of Google is the motivation of their employees. This motivation has a great impact on productivity and also on society, as many other companies are following Google's model. Google supports employee Google support employee participation in experiment, and they are allowed workers are allowed to spend 10% of their working time in experiment of their own choice. Another factor is that Google has a relaxed environment and offices that encourage worker creativity, and this makes their work easier. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the preparation of Google. And Google offers courses for workers and for people outside the company in order to manage the knowledge of the company, and these are the TED Talks.
All right, they have just talked about the two success factors that are innovation and human resources, but we should also talk of Google as a business. Many people see Google just as a search engine. They don't see that the company has to pay the bills, the workers. So I want to analyze a little bit how does this business work. The first thing is the brand name of Google. They have achieved something that it's not easy, is that people relate the idea of innovation, simplicity, young with the brand Google. As you can see the logo, it is quite colorful, it's cheerful. So people see Google as a I could say fresh company, and you can also see that in their office that they are quite different to traditional office. And next thing will be the revenue system. People who use Google, many of you I'm sure that use it, you just type something and you obtain results, but you don't pay anything. So how does Google make money? Well, the main part of Google's revenue is the advertising system. Around 90% of the money that they make is thanks to that. What they do, they have two different systems, Google Ads and Google AdSense. In the first one, what the advertiser does, it gives Google some keywords and it pays Google money, and Google puts their website, their first ones, when somebody types those words. And with Google AdSense, some websites allow Google to put ads in normally they're in this part or the other part of their websites, and Google pays some money to that website, and the ads pay money to Google, but Google keeps a percentage of that money. And lastly, I want to talk about the Google's expansion. I will divide it into the geographic expansion. Google right now has office in a lot of places in the world. They have the Google system in more than 200 languages, and I would also like to talk about the products and service expansion. I will call it diversification, since a lot of years ago Google changed their mind of not only being a search engine, but they also offer other services as Google Maps, YouTube, and things like that. And I would like to introduce Maria.
So to finish with, I'm going to do a brief summary of all this to make everything clearer. So innovation, human resources, and the way to run the business with the brand name and the geographic expansion are the three pillars that have made Google an unquestionable success. So as we have been talking in class about these 4 key terms of digital business, we would like in this conclusion to link them with these success factors of Google. So first of all, the speed. Every business needs speed in its decisions, so we can say that Google is a clear example of the speed. since their continuous innovations. Then the openness means to be open to different products, services, diverse innovations, and be open to other countries and like this. Then the autonomy that because Google has this autonomy because they let them work their workers to make the decisions and like this, and there is freedom at the workplace. So finally, this makes a difference. And finally, all this is what makes Google have a great impact in our society. Everybody knows this company, like a company that makes people's life easier. So in conclusion, Google can be an example of business and one of the most successful companies in the world. So that's all. Thanks for listening, and if you have any question, be free for ask.